Okay, the first thing that we're going to do this evening is we're going to be giving certificates to our volunteers, our regular volunteers that make our organization possible. And we'll be starting with, well, first of all, I'll read the other volunteers' names. Russell Bridges, Tim Bush, Barb Conant, Dave Conant, Bob Jackson, Lucinda Klein, Debbie Notch, Jeff Notch, Cindy Orsburn, Donna Robertson, Bill Schenkel, and Susie Thomas. They have helped us in different ways over the years. We also have volunteers, and we have certificates for these volunteers who have contributed 50 to 100 hours of service to the CTC. The first we have Jason Anderson. Dave England, he's not here. Todd Essex isn't here. Melissa Frucci. Belita Gilmore isn't here. Carol Hawk. Dave Hyman. Mary Jo Crable. Is Mary Jo here? Okay. Jim Poksa. Jeff Poland. Joe Spatafor and Gail Spatafor aren't here this evening. Gail's father died yesterday, and she was the person who was in charge of the banquet and arranged everything. Krista Wilson and Joe Vitale. Next, we have volunteers who have contributed 100 to 150 hours to the CTC. We have Joe Bridges, who does the video at Malone College now. He's not here. Bill Dewald, who is from Washington High School, and I know you're here. Come on. Rini Kaufman isn't here. Dick Kuhn is here. You saw him on the video. Dick comes on What's Happening sometimes, representing the League of Women Voters. And Bill Wiedner. Bill Wiedner isn't here. A lot of our volunteers belong to many organizations, and a lot of them are busy volunteering other places. Next up is 150 to 200 hours of volunteer service. We have Josh Anderson. Jason and Josh come and help with the timekeeping when we're taping What's Happening and some of the Reflections programs. Rose Anderson, who's the Director of Education at the McKinley Museum. She was helping with the video contest. Some of you that were there saw her. She's not here this evening. Travis Armstrong. Travis. Travis is new this year. Pat Fellman. Pat isn't here. Her daughter is very sick. Kathy Friggi. Kathy should get extra hours for being married to Jim because of all the hours he puts in. I know he drafts you for things at home. And Gail Spatafor, who can't be here this evening. Next we have the volunteers for 200 to 300 hours. We have Jim Fravel, Dick Crable, and Dick's not here, Karen Sue Nader, and Kate Ruda. Karen Sue has been a member of the CTC for a long, long time. No, you're not that old, but she's helped us out for a long, long time. Okay, next we have 300 to 400 hours, and this is quite a contribution if you think about the amount of time that people volunteer to an organization. These people have contributed 300 to 400 hours, and Larry and Marion are both not that long-time members of the CTC. We have Larry Burgett, who you saw representing the Canton Christian Home on the video, and who offered the prayer for us this evening. Larry is also our secretary, and he comes on our program. He gives us business advice. He has completely organized the business aspect of the CTC. And Marion Tucker. I met Marion in a class I was taking at Kent in order to get my teaching certificate renewed, and she is getting her degree in broadcasting. Marion's going to eventually run a television station. She does sound for us. And Pat, I'll give it to you. That's Pat Anderson. She does our calendar of events on every program, and she's been a member for quite a long time as well. All right, next we're going to be giving the certificates for 500 hours and more, and each of these people who have received more than 500 hours are also being inducted. This year we're starting the CTC Volunteer Hall of Fame. It's for people who have contributed for a long time to make our organization possible so that we can serve the community. And I have a little speech about each of them. It's little, don't worry. We established the Volunteer Hall of Fame to honor those who have had a lengthy volunteer service career with us. To be included, a volunteer must have been a member for over 5 years, have won the Chairman's Award or Volunteer of the Year, or performed unusual service, and must have amassed over 500 hours of volunteer hours. We have 8 charter members. As our members come up, would you just hold your applause, and would they just come up and stay up here the whole time? Our first member is Roger Davis. Roger has been a member of the CTC since 1981, contributing more than 500 hours. Over the years, he's faithfully served as videographer, both in studio and on location. You can count on Roger to be there if he at all can. He has volunteered as secretary on the executive board, and he's been on the Funding and Grants Committee, Long Range Planning Committee, both video contest committees, and he designed and wrote our contest forms. He's the only founding member of the CTC still active. We enjoy working with Roger because of his careful professionalism. We know that if we ask Roger to do something, he will do it with excellence, and it will be done right. We enjoy his sense of humor, and we particularly like Roger's hat collection. Roger Davis. Now, don't go away. Okay. Our next volunteer is Dr. Alan Hedges. Dr. Hedges has been from Malone College. He is our founder. Alan Hedges founded the CTC in 1981, and he has contributed more than 500 hours, I'm sure far more than that, to the CTC. Originally, he served as chairman, negotiated for airtime, produced, directed, edited, designed graphics, recruited volunteers from his classes, such as Jim Frucci and Bob Amon were originally in Dr. Hedges' classes at Malone, as well as being vice chairman. In short, Alan Hedges initially did everything. Because of him, we exist today. His planning and vision has touched thousands of lives with our programming. We enjoy working with him because of his willingness to get things done, his professional expertise, his patience, and his kindness. Bob Pescick has been a member since 1984, contributing over 500 hours to the CTC. As a CPA, Bob has been our treasurer for over 10 years. He served on the Funding and Grants and Long Range Planning Committee, and except for during tax time, he is ever present these many years at our monthly board and executive board meetings. He represented City Club and helped with Natural Communications' nationally acclaimed video. We've enjoyed working with Bob because he's always smiling, so pleasant and level-headed. We can always count on Bob for sound business advice no matter what situation arises. In appreciation for thousands of dollars of his professional services that he has donated to the CTC, we'd like to present him with a little token of our esteem. Being our treasurer, Bob knows how poor we are. It's really only a big pen. This year, Bob has been blessed with a new daughter, a new home, and a new job, and is stepping down as treasurer because he's a little busy. We'll really miss him. Bob Amon has been a member since 1984, contributing over 1,000 hours to the CTC. In the years that we have been taping our programs at his professional studio, he has easily given us over $1 million of studio time. We only wish that we could pay him, and I'm sure he wishes we could too. As our director, Bob handles editing, designs graphics, the set, the lighting, as well as putting the program together as to which camera's used and at what angle. And I'm sure there's a technical name for that, but I don't know it. For approximately 5 years, he went down and taped City Club on location at no cost. He served on programming, long-range planning, both video contest committees, designing the set, the format, and the graphics. He's been a recipient of the Chairman's Award. We enjoy working with Bob because of his quality work that makes us look so good. You couldn't ask for a nicer person or someone more enjoyable to work with. Okay, next we have Lloyd DeFrance. Lloyd DeFrance has been a member since 1988, contributing more than 1,000 hours to the CTC. Lloyd immediately became one of our most active volunteers and soon was awarded Volunteer of the Year. He served the CTC as secretary, vice president in charge of programming, is ever present at in-studio and location shoots as a videographer. He's been on the banquet committee. He's been a regular volunteer at the head end of Warner Cable. He books guests for what's happening and schedules our calendar programming month and is the person who answers our telephone. He represents the Animal Protection Guild and is dependably present at board and executive board meetings. He does 1,000 jobs that are impossible to label as well. We enjoy working with Lloyd because of his great enthusiasm, his dedication, and his constant interest in making things better for the CTC. Well, what can I say about Jim Frucci? That's a joke because that's how Jim always starts his when he awards something. Jim has been a member since 1984, contributing well over 1,500 hours, and I mean well over 1,500 hours to the CTC. There have been many years when the answer to any question has been Ask Jim. He served the CTC as chairman for 2 years, vice chairman in charge of programming for several years, program producer for both What's Happening and Reflections programs. He edits, designs graphics, and is a constant presence at location and in-studio shoots. He's been on the Funding and Grants Committee, Banquet, Programming, Long-Range Planning Committees, and he's been a regular volunteer at the dreaded head end of Warner Cable. He is always at board and executive meetings as well. Jim represents the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and he's also been involved with 1,000 committees and projects that we don't have time to name. He's received an award of special recognition for service for 2 years because of his outstanding service and dedication. I'm told that in the early days of the CTC, when we were still paying Warner Cable for airtime, Jim even took money out of his own pocket to keep us on the air. I know that all of us would agree that Jim Frucci has done more than any other person for the CTC. We enjoy working with Jim because of his professionalism and dedication, and we love that ornery laugh and watching him throw his headset when we screw up. Besides, we like his pool parties. Thanks, Jim. Next we have Dick Bolton. Dick Bolton has been a dedicated member of the CTC since 1983, contributing well over 1,500 hours. Dick said, "I ought to put down 4 hours a day just for thinking about it," and that's the truth. Dick really cares about the future of the CTC. He is dependably always there for our in-studio and location shoots as a videographer, even showing up when he had a blood clot in his leg against his wife and his doctor's orders. He solely got to the grant to fund our What's Happening program. He's chairman of Funding and Grants Committee. He represents us at conferences. He's our bylaw expert. He's always at our board and executive board meetings. He served on both video contest committees, long-range planning, and our refranchise committee. He's a regular volunteer at the dreaded head end of Warner Cable. He has represented both Heritage Christian School and Quail Hollow State Park. Dick received the Chairman's Award twice. We enjoy working with Dick because of his professional abilities, and yet he can shift from joking on the set to a professional in seconds. He's our most witty and humorous member and he makes shooting our program a truly fun experience. Someday I'll get even with him for unexpectedly wearing clown hair and glasses in the middle of a shoot when I looked up to see what time it was. Totally skilled and professional, but ready with a joke in between takes. Dick Fulton.
Now it's my turn to get even. Look at this. I think I lost it. Oh, there it is. I'm supposed to only be presenting one award up here today, but I'd like to take just a minute to acknowledge another group of people without whom it would probably be impossible to keep this organization going. I would like to thank all the wives and husbands and loved ones connected with the CTC members for their forbearance and understanding and patience. I know that I speak for all the volunteers when I say a big thank you for putting up with us. And I guess you all know who you are. Susie Vitale. Well, what can you say about Susie? Well, you can say that Susie is a young lady who has been a member since 1987 and given over 1,000 hours of her time to the CTC. She has served as hostess of the What's Happening, now being in her 8th year, I believe, right? She has done many reflection programs and was scriptwriter for several. She's in her 3rd year as CTC chairman. She originated the idea for the video contest, which is now in its 2nd year, and without that there probably wouldn't be more than 30 people here today. She prepares publicity releases and has even worked at the Head End, the place we go to actually air our programming, and that's out in the boondocks up until this week. She has served on many committees, including funding and grants, banquet committee, video contest, free franchise committee, and headed up the executive board. She received the Volunteer of the Year award for 1993. Susie brought to the CTC fresh ideas and a cheerful, upbeat attitude. She is always ready to listen to the ideas of fellow members and is one who displays the unselfish posture of a team player. She has exhibited great devotion to the success of our organization, believing in bringing quality programming to our community and maintaining high standards of morals and ethics in all that we do. That's Susie.
Next, we're going to have Jim give the Newcomers Award and the Volunteer of the Year.
Well, now that both of you have stolen my line, what can I say? This year, for the first year, we're instituting a new award. I've been thinking about this for several years, and this year, there was just one person that was so outstanding. He's only been with us for 4 months, and no matter what you ask this gentleman to do, he's ready to do it. He started out at the Head End. If we want to shoot, he's ready to do it. When we needed to go to Massillon to take the tapes, he says, I'll do it, and he does. When I need tapes brought back from the Head End when I'm editing something, he'll do it. What can I say? In 4 months, he's really been a great help. Travis Armstrong. The plaque reads Community Television Consortium Incorporated 1994 Newcomer Award, presented to Travis Armstrong in recognition of superior volunteer service to the CTC. Congratulations. Thank you. This award, the Volunteer of the Year award, every year gets tougher and tougher. We've got so many people who just Without their volunteer leadership, we couldn't do this very long. I mean, no matter who you call on, no matter what you want them to do, they're willing to do it. One thing that Susie failed to mention about Larry Burgett is he goes out to the head end. This gentleman doesn't have to do that. I mean, the rest of us, we do video and we can handle that. Larry says, I'll do it. We need to have it done, so I'll do it. So it's a real tough decision to make on this part. But there is one person who I've worked with for the past year that exemplifies volunteerism. No matter when I need something, it's kind of like Travis, no matter when I ask for something, if it's a shoot down at City Club, if I'm short a person someplace else, if I need her to do sound, or if I need her to do something else, she's there. If you'll notice, she's only been with us for 4 or 5 years, but there's a lot of hours put in those 4 or 5 years, and especially in the past year. Our Volunteer of the Year is Marion Tucker. Again, the plaque reads, Community Television Consortium Incorporated, 1994 Volunteer of the Year, presented to Marion Tucker in recognition of superior volunteer service to the CTC. I will turn the rest of it over to Susie. I'm done.
I get to give the Chairman's Award. If this were solely a popularity contest, our 1994 Chairman's Award winner would have come in first. However, the Chairman's Award means much more. It's awarded to an individual who year after year has consistently served the CTC with enthusiasm and excellence. This year's recipient has been a member of the CTC for over 5 years, accumulating over 400 hours of service. Not only does Pat Anderson bring sunshine to our set, she also faithfully compiles and readies our calendar of events on what's happening in Stark County, substitutes for me as hostess, keeps time, occasionally runs a camera or graphics. She goes on location shoots with the crew. She's hostess on several Reflections programs herself. She's served on both video contest committees. And most importantly, she talks to me on the phone when I'm out at the head end. She's a good friend to all of us here at the CTC and a joy to work with. Our 1994 recipient of the Chairman's Award, Pat Anderson. Okay, next I'd like to thank the Video Contest Committee members. And if they would stand up when I read their name. Bob Amon, and just stay standing till we're done. Bob Amon, Pat Anderson, Rose Anderson isn't here, Roger Davis, Dick Fulton, Pat Fellman, and Cindy Orsburn aren't here, and taping crew Marion Tucker and Travis Armstrong. And these people made the video contest possible. Our video contest, thank you. Want to clap? I signed all the letters. Our video contest award winners, we have 2 categories. We have our first place winners here and our special award winners. As you know, to win the video contest or to enter the video contest, you were to give us a portrait of something in 5 minutes or less using some form of the arts. Our first place winner from Avondale Elementary, 2nd grade, is Diane Barabbas, and their video was Portraits of Our Principal. Would you like to come up, Diane? Congratulations, Diane. And where did the principal go? He was here. Did he leave? He had to leave? He bravely came. You'll enjoy that one when you see it on the air. Another first place winner was Jeff Bennett of Malvern Elementary, 6th grade. Their video, People of the Past. each of the teachers is getting a videotape that contains both of the winning programs. And feel free to make copies of them if you'd like to. Our next first place winner is Jackie Blades. She's from Pleasant View, Glen Oak, from the dance class, with their video Sail Away. It's beautiful. Our next first place winner, we'd like to draft into the CTCs, Margaret Ripple. Her 4th grade from Bowers Elementary won with Portrait of a 4th grade girl. And Margaret also, her 3rd grade from Bowers, also won the CTC President's Award, Portrait of a Domestic House Cat. Every year, and Margaret's 5th grade won 2nd place. Every year Margaret enters these incredible videos, and you'll really enjoy them when you see them. We'd really like her to join the CTC. Next we have, let's get Next we have the Mayor's Award. Went to Luann Gross's 5th grade at Heritage Christian School, and they did a wonderful video called Out in the Barnyard. The Governor's Award went to Sharon Stifler's 6th grade at Pleasant View School for the Arts with The Fisherman and His Wife. And the Congressional Award went to Tina Miller's wonderful 2nd grade class from St. Louis Elementary in Louisville with their video Math Line. Be sure and try to see these programs. They will be broadcast on Maslin Cable, Channel 50, the first 2 Thursdays, 7:30. On Maslin Cable, on Warner Cable. Each teacher got a calendar that shows what day on Warner Cable they'll be all during the month of April, Tuesdays at 6 and Thursdays at 6:30. Okay. I'd like at this time to thank the Banquet Committee, Gail Spatafor, of course, and our sympathies go out to her and Joe Spatafor in the death of her father. Joe Spatafor, who was going to videotape for us this evening. Larry Burgett, this is, he helped arrange this, we appreciate it. Dottie and Lloyd DeFrance, who helped take all the reservations, and Jim for making the tape.
I just have 2 quick things before I finish. We can't let this evening go by without letting Jim Jajak, would you please stand? Jim Jajak represents Warner Cable, who, without Warner Cable, we'd have never been on the air. So Jim, thank you, and be sure and tell your people back at the office that we appreciate it. And the last thing, most people who attend these events and see me always hear from me, we need volunteers. We desperately need volunteers. And it doesn't matter, as you can see, what age you are, what expertise you have. We need volunteers to do just about anything. So if you're interested in volunteering with the CTC, either call our line or get in touch with me. I'm at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Thanks.
Last, we'd like to thank Vern, who's back there videotaping from the Video Camera Club. He stepped in at the last minute for Joe Spatafor. And this is going to be broadcast. The banquet's going to be made into a program, and it'll be broadcast in May. When in May? So they know. The second Wednesday of May on Warner Cable, Channel 11 at 6 o'clock. And on Maslin Cable, Channel 50, when? the 3rd and 4th Thursday of May on Mass and Cable. So be sure and watch for the banquet as well as the video contest programs. Thank you all for coming this evening. We really appreciate you coming.